First of all, just want to congratulate Coach Saban and our football team. What an impressive performance Saturday night down in Baton Rouge. Obviously, you know, I went to school in Baton Rouge and grew up about 60 miles away from that stadium. So that was a very impressive performance by the staff, the players. We were here cheering them on, and I know it's a lot left in their season to be accomplished, but we're awfully proud of their performance on both sides of the ball on Saturday night. Just a quick injury update. Obviously, I'm assuming that all of you guys got the release about Riley. I'm very thankful for our athletic trainer, Clark Holter, and all of our medical team because they responded swiftly. Last Sunday in practice, we had a situation with Riley where he just wasn't feeling good, and he went and talked to Clark about it, and we're just very thankful, though, that it's under control. He'll make a full recovery. But what a great medical team that we have here at the university. Dejon Ingram is day-to-day, left ankle sprain that he sustained in practice on Thursday. But he's day-to-day. We'll see how he's feeling, and you know, we'll update you more about him as time goes on. Javian Fleming with the right knee sprain. He's making some progress. He's working out non-contact. He's definitely out for tomorrow's game, and we'll see how he progresses on into the weekend. Obviously, you know, we're all just excited that the season is here. We got to have a really good practice tomorrow because we're going to be playing against a well-coached team. Sean Woods, he knows his way around the block. Obviously, he played with Pale at Kentucky. He was at Mississippi Valley, Moorhead. So he's a terrific coach. They're a senior-laden team, lots of upperclassmen. They're not going to be afraid of coming into Coleman and play us. They played against another really good ACC school that has a great fan base last year, so coming into Coleman on tomorrow night is not going to scare Southern University. They're a fast team, a really good three-point shooting team. They do a great job of mixing up their defenses. So, you know, we're going to have to be ready to take care of the ball. Obviously, we're going to have to do our best on the backboards and make sure that we just make the correct play. And if we failed and make a mistake, just move on to the next play. But obviously, there's a little bit of different type of temperature in the air because I'm playing against my alma mater, but let it be known we want to win the game, we want to play well, and hopefully as time goes on they'll have a really good time in the SWAC conference and be able to represent the university at a high level. But tomorrow night it's all business. We know we have to play really well to put ourselves in position to win this game.
All right, thank you, Coach. Just raise your hand. We'll get a microphone over to you. We'll start with Alex in the middle.
Can you just further elaborate on Riley's kind of heart condition, you know, and the fact that this is the second year in a row he's dealt with, you know, some sort of injury, illness that's taken him out, cost him time?
Yeah, all I'll say is his heart was beating at an accelerated rate, and it wasn't normal, and that's why he had to again go and have this procedure done, and he'll make a full recovery. So I'm not a doctor. I think as time goes on, you know, we'll be able to go more in detail, but the main thing is, you know, he's back on his feet. He was at practice on yesterday, and I know he's excited to rejoin the team at some point here hopefully in the short-term future.
And I guess without kind of what you've described in the past as an alpha on the team, you haven't identified that yet. How much are you anticipating trying to understand what this team is, find yourself during this non-conference? Is that going to be kind of a trial by fire, trying to figure out what this team is this year?
Yeah, I just think some things we'll learn about ourselves on the fly, but there's some constants. You know, we have some guys that have been in the system now, and they've played an awful lot of high-level games here at Alabama, and whether it's been on the road or at home, they know it works. You know, transition defense, transition offense, good spacing on offense, communication on defense. They know what the formula for success is and what we value. There's certain things on offense and defense that we value every single day in practice that we know translates to the game. So I think some of it will be, you know, trial by fire, but we have some guys that we have an awful lot of confidence in, and I know they want to have a little bit of a bigger role, but for them to have a bigger role, we have to play really well as a team.
Let's go to front row here, Kerry.
Hey, Coach, I know you're not, to paraphrase Coach Saban, you're not going to leave this room and call Coach Woods and give him your starting lineup, but do you have any particular way you're leaning if Dazon can't go tomorrow?
Yes, we have a particular way we're leaning, but we'll see how it goes in practice today. And if he can't go, you know, obviously, you know, it'll boil down to, you know, whether we want to go big and start Herb at the point guard spot, or whether we want to, you know, insert AJ or Kyra into the lineup. So we'll know a lot more after practice today.
Other questions, Coach? All right here. I got you right here. Tony?
What are you looking to see from Kyra when you make the decision if maybe he's ready to start? Or
we just want him to continue to grow and develop. He's shown some signs that in the future he's going to be an awfully good player. And he has some special talents, and especially with his speed. He's a really good shooter for a young guy. He's getting stronger. He's gained 6 pounds since he's been at Alabama. That's pretty good. I'm trying to go in the other direction, by the way, in case you wanted to ask me that. But I just think we want to continue to bring him along slowly. There's no really huge amount of pressure on him to come out and put up big numbers. We just want him to just keep getting better.
Speaking of weight changes, what have you seen from Alex Reese, who's kind of gone the other way?
He's been one of our...
No, he took, lost some weight, yeah.
Yeah, he's been one of our most improved players because he's lost weight and he's gotten in better shape. And a lot of it also is just mentally he's gotten tougher, and he's fighting through adversity more. And that's as big a part with the kids as the physical, just having more confidence and understanding how to respond when things don't go well, and getting in the right position, getting more in the defensive stance, hustling after a mistake. So I've seen Alex, not only from a weight standpoint, but just from a maturity standpoint, improve.
Okay, go back row, on the right side there, we got Cecil.
In the non-counting part of your schedule, the scrimmage and the exhibition game, you hadn't shot the three especially well yet. Are you still confident that the guys you have shooting the threes can up that percentage, and that'd be a big part of your offense?
Well, I think, Cecil, for us, we'll be even more confident when our shot selection improves. I think part of it for our team is this could potentially be a really good three-point shooting team, but just having the awareness of what's a good three and what's a bad one. When we're shooting good three-point shots, I think you're going to see a very high-level three-point shooting team. But, you know, the poor shot selection, two guys hanging all over a guy and he's trying to shoot a fadeaway three, that's not what we're trying to accomplish. But the rhythm threes, the threes that's created by, you know, maybe penetration or the post getting double-teamed, and or getting an offensive rebounding, we kicking it out for a rhythm three. A lot of those, we have a very high level of confidence in the guys that we have this year that can make those shots.
Go back left, Ryder.
The year before Colin got here, you kind of, made reference to the fact that you thought some of the players were a little bit too passive, not willing to step up. And then, obviously, Colin last year kind of dominated the ball. I mean, how much do you think the players here on this team are, willing to kind of step up and take on that leadership role? And the other question I have is, the NBA is obviously going analytics full bore into three-point shooting. I mean, is that going to be an emphasis with you guys where, it's either three or just take it to the rack?
Well, I'll answer your second question first. We want the best shot. If the best shot for our basketball team is a mid-range shot, and that's a particular guy's shot on our team where he's most effective, let's take it and make it. The one thing we don't like that we've had to improve on is taking those long twos where our feet are on the three-point line, and that's not necessarily that good. But we also have guys that are very good at getting the ball to the basket and finishing around the basket, and we don't want to take that away. I think for us to be effective, having a three-level scoring team where it's making our shots in the paint, if there is a rhythm mid-range shot, take it. We don't necessarily need to just jump back behind the three, because from an analytics standpoint, that makes more sense. The thing that makes more sense for us is just to be efficient and finish a higher level of our shots from all three areas. I think this is a good time for our guys, because I think last year maybe when we lost, it was easy to say, well, Colin got too many of the shots and we didn't have enough of the offense spread it around to the other guys. Well, he's not here, so those 19 shots or 20 shots he got certain games, for whatever reason, now that's going to be spread around the rest of the guys, and I'm sure they're ready to embrace that challenge.
Okay, we've got two more questions left. We'll start in the front row on the left with Chris, and then we'll end with Alex.
Just wondering, how did this game kind of come about, and how do you keep from going to the wrong bench?
Well, I'm not going to the wrong bench, because Greg Byrne and the trustees and President Bell, they're the ones that pay my salary, so I'm not going to do that. And this game basically was supposed to take place last year, but based on the way we look at our schedule from an analytic standpoint, it was better for us to basically construct a home and home with another team that's currently on our schedule, so we had to basically move this game back. So because we moved it back, we thought the best fit for us and at the time would be the first game of the season and not later on in the season. So that's a great question.
Okay, send over here with Alex right on the
Hey, Avery, you've spoken already about the experience you have on this team, the guys that have been in the fire a little bit and have experienced this, but yet you're still having some issues with things like shot selection and taking bad shots. Where do you balance that when people are still maybe not doing the right things on the court that you expect them to?
Well, I wouldn't make a big deal out of it that we're having issues or significant issues. I think we'll know more about the shot selection probably 5 games into the season or 10 games into the season. I just think some of the guys like a Tevin Mack, for example, we're counting on him to help us offensively, but the truth of it is he just really haven't played in a year and a half. So developing that consistent feel for when it's a right situation and having the freedom to do it with confidence, it's just going to take some time. And, when you're playing against other teams that are going to game plan for you, how are you going to respond? Some of our guys shot the ball really well at home, not so well on the road. For those guys, we want them to become more consistent, but that starts in practice, that if we have practice on Sunday, you can do it on Sunday, you can do it on Monday, and hopefully we'll get carryover into Tuesday. The main thing is guys just have to understand that those decisions that they make in terms of shot selection, it affects our team, it affects our defense. But we've shown spurts in practice. We showed a couple of spurts in our exhibition game, especially, after what happened in the scrimmage, that we have some potential to have the DNA where we understand what's a good shot and a bad shot, and also have the freedom that if it is a bad shot, I will not allow it to affect us on the defensive end, because 2 errors, or what we call double errors, that's not winning basketball. And for us to play winning basketball, we just have to be single-minded and be confident at all times in what we're doing on the floor.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay.